Hello out there in YouTube land. Well, here I am. Rock Hill. I had Rock Hill Center. I can't think of that. Rockefeller Center from Frickin' Jeep's location. On location at Frickin' Jeep's Rockville, whatever. Well, I had a note here. People have been sending me questions about this and that, and I'm not a good typer, and I like to answer everybody with something. But not being a good typer, combined with not being a good speller, combined with it, you'll type something in there, and if the computer thinks it knows what you're trying to say, it puts something in there, and so then you got to go back and proofread it. And I'm not a good proofreader, and so sometimes you guys probably get answers that look bizarre. That's the way it is. So I wrote a note down here, a couple things. And when I wrote them down, I'm old and senile, and it seemed very important at the time I wrote them down, but now that I'm looking at them, I got no idea what they're about. These were to jog my memory. It says, no hat. I'm guessing it had to do with sawmill, and oh, I know what that one was now. It comes back. A couple people have emailed me when I'm sawing on the new sawmill, the big sawmill, I don't wear my goofy hat that's got all the back in it. That sawmill doesn't throw dust over the back. That's why I don't really wear it, number one. Number two, it's all the way back at the other sawmill. There's two of them, and I keep them in an old refrigerator back there. No, I keep them in the metal box. I keep other things in an old refrigerator back there so the animals don't get into them. Anyhow, that's what that is. Here I have, it says Space for Dogs. I got no idea what that one is. It might jog my memory. Space for Dogs. I don't know. One guy sent me a thing. I think it was Mac Yoakum sent me, put a camera on the clutch stand with a magnetic holder. I thought that was a real good idea, and thank you for it if it came from you, and if it didn't come from the heater just came on, it came from somebody else. Thank you too, or thank everybody. I'm thinking, okay, that's what that is. Another guy said, if you know, I was splitting some wood, and I said, if you know what wood splitter merry-go-round is, and he says, yeah, it's wood. He calls it wood splitter hokey pokey. So I think that's an awfully good one also. You know who you are that sent me that. Then on the back here I got hickory trees. Why don't I like hickory trees? Oh, probably 30 years ago, maybe better than that. I was up in the back property and I dropped a 24-inch or better oak, and it came down on a hickory tree. And the hickory tree was like a big bow. It was over, and I knew it had tension in it. It was about a 6-inch round tree, and so I'm going at it gently, because I knew it was going to go boing. But for some reason, when I was pulling the tree up out of the woods, I couldn't get it up. This is before I had a lot of the equipment that I got now, and so I'm cutting it, and it went boing, and it hit me in the leg and knocked me out with a chainsaw in my hand, and I landed, I don't know how many feet from it, and it knocked me out, but only for seconds, because it hit me in the knee. It was more, I don't know, maybe the adrenaline knocked me out. I got no idea. But there I am, and I'm feeling my knee to see if I still got a kneecap or what. I knew it hit me in the knee because that's where the pain was at. Anyhow, I sat in the woods with a chainsaw running for probably 15 minutes. This was before cell phones. And finally climbed back up. I had my dozer, that's what I was pulling the logs up with. I climbed up on there and drove all the way up to the front of the house and just started yelling for my wife, come on out here, and she helped me, and ended up, it tore up my knee pretty good. Anyhow, that was one reason I didn't like hickory trees. If you're working with hickory trees, the branches get caught in everything. They don't just go straight out, they go out in weird, so they're a pain in the ass to work with. I used a bunch of hickory trees once for fence posts, and they rot out instantly. If you don't cut the firewood from them and get it up dried, stacking, it goes bad. So there's a lot of reasons I don't really, it's great firewood. It's probably the top-notch firewood, one of the top. I like locusts and stuff like that, but that's not around here. The hickory's around here, but I won't drop a hickory tree too often. I got one I got to drop that's alive, and they're not dying off too bad. So that's what that is. What I'm going to do here, this is my stack of wood. It's so muddy out right now. I'll check and see how much I jabbered away. This is just going to be a jabber session, guys. Oh, we only got 5 minutes of jabbering. I'll show you around. This is a stack of wood. This is what I call emergency wood. Okay, now these piles go from back there over to here. That's 11 foot. I measured it. See, 11 foot. Then from the ground up to the top of that post is 7 foot. See, 7 foot. The depth of my wood is all 18 inches, give or take a little bit. So we figure 1.5. So this, each one of those rows comes out to 115.5 cubic feet, which is 9/10 of a cord. And there are about, I don't know, 6 rows, I guess. That's the row that I'm working on right now. Then there's a row here and a row here. There's about 6 rows. I might be able to put you over the top and see what's going on up there, but it really isn't worth it. I think there's 6 rows in there. That wood's been in there for, some of that wood might have been in there for now 15 years. It's emergency wood. And so I decided I'm going to rotate the wood. Normally I do not rotate the wood. The reason I don't rotate the wood, because that just means more work. If I take this wood out of here, I got to walk all the way around to the boiler and then all the way back, where you guys know that I normally like it right here. Excuse me. So that means extra work. It also means extra work because you got to stack it in here. So that means a double stack. I don't like double stacking. But I think it's time to get some of this wood out of here and put new wood in. So I think I'll go probably move in 3 rows, and then when the weather permits, start stacking it with fresh kill wood in the back. And it'll be seasoned enough by next year. If I need to get into it, I can get into it. I'm not really worried about that. This is, moisture on this is around 15%, which I don't think you're going to get any lower than that. I just split one of the big ones in half. I could show you the meter, but you guys know about all that. That's the one I split to see just where it's at. And I don't think you're going to get any lower than that. So that's how that is. Now the next thing on the agenda, which is kind of a, I don't know, agenda. Well, yeah. I'm thinking about, as I'm getting older, you're thinking about more creature comforts. Okay? This thing has been a good machine for me for probably over 10 years. And it's got, I don't know how many hours on it now. It has 1,540 hours on it. 1,540 hours on it, which is probably nothing for a piece of machinery like this. It's the older style that doesn't have the independent rear suspension, and I do think it's in better, I think it's better and heavier than the new ones. I think they lighten them up and that kind of stuff. But as I drive around here, okay, sometimes, like today, it's not too bad jumping in there and going. The creature company, and here the old man's got, you know, decisions to make. Okay, when I get into this thing here, it's this quick. It's that quick. If I get one with a enclosure on it, I got to open a door and shut the door. Okay, so that's the negative. You know, I'm trying to put down the positive and negatives. The thing's going to cost a lot of money, and I've been saving for who knows what for years and years, long before YouTube came about that you guys started watching. I've started selling things off. I guess you guys know a couple years back I sold, half a dozen or better old rotten Jeeps. Some of them were good, some of them were old rotten. And like a couple weeks ago I sold my 38-foot trailer. I sold my log grapple that was a big Prentice log grapple. I sold my rollback. I've sold an awful lot of stuff, and I've just kind of squirreled the money away. And I still don't have enough money to buy this new piece if I get it. I'm working a deal, and I've been really working on it for the last week. It's something I've wanted, like I said, for years. But those are some of the dilemmas. So now you have a door to get in and get out. Okay? If you want the heat in the wintertime, for me to go from here to the sawmill, you're not going to have any heat. It's not going to warm up that fast. Okay? so it has air conditioning. Also has, so in the summertime, you know, you're going to get in, it's probably going to be a hot vehicle. Well, I park them inside, so that part probably won't make any difference. It has windows, and you can open the windows up and all that kind of stuff. But in the winter, when you're driving around, or if you're driving around the rain, which I don't really do that much in the rain, to be honest with you, but I do drive around from time to time in the rain, or you'll get stuck in the back and start raining, you get soaked by the time you get to the house. But if you really think about it, that's probably out of 365 days a year, that might be, if it's 30 times, that's only what, 1%? Or 10, yeah, 1%? No, 10%. I don't know. You guys figure it out. I'm not good with numbers. You saw I had to write this stuff down. So I got to keep that in mind. If somebody is selling the piece, and it is used, I can't swing a new one. Couldn't swing a new one 3 years ago. Can't swing a new one now. But this one's a reasonable price. But there's a lien on it. So what came first, the chicken or the egg? Okay, I can't get a clear title. Well, there's no title on it. This kind of junk has no title on it. I don't know why. This thing should have a title on it. I don't know why your Bobcat doesn't have a title on it, or your tractor should have a title. All these things should have a title, in my opinion, but they don't. Anyhow, he's got a lien on it, which is fine because he owes money on it. He's making payments on it. That's fine. Okay? So if I pay him for that, he could just take and put that money in his pocket, not pay the lien, and then the bank comes looking for their machine at my house and takes it away because they have a lien against it. So that's not good. So the guy seems very reputable, very reputable. He has a multi-million-dollar house about 45 minutes from here. I've been to his house in the last week 3 or 4 times. His reason for selling it is because it's just not, doesn't use it. It's got 64 hours on it, which is literally brand new. So, well, I'll go pay his loan off. Well, that's fine. But I don't know. It's just, it's crazy. It's got me bewildered. And the fact that the sun isn't coming out kind of leaves me. I don't care what anybody says. If the sun doesn't come out for a long time, I get depressed. You can call it disappointed or this or that, and I get depressed. Man, I like the sun out. I like to be out here. I just walk down to the sawmill, and you can't drive this down there right now. It's just too muddy. So anyhow, I'm getting all over the place. A lot of things going on here, but no good videos. Basically is what I'm telling you. I got a lot of stuff going on, no good videos. So I'm going to take for a little while. I answered all the goofy questions that I had that were goofy to me, but not goofy to the people that asked. But, and if there was ever anything said, there is no such thing as a goofy answer or something like that answer, or question. There's no such thing as a wrong question. They obviously haven't read all the comments that some of us YouTubers get. That's a good thing. So I'm gonna just sit here and let you guys watch me. Of course, you're gonna be on an angle now. What I like to do is I like to stack my wood when I'm pulling wood. Okay, I'm be pulling it from here. Well, when you open that door and you start throwing wood in, it won't smoke right now when you open the door, but when you put a fresh kill wood in there, or not a fresh kill, whatever in there, it starts to smoke. And it'll roll some smoke out of there. So I like to stack my wood up on that legend there for my next loading of the fire. Like I said, I don't like the idea of restacking the wood 100 times. But I also don't like at night when I come out here of doing this walk until I get the boiler loaded, because that boiler holds a lot of wood, people. I haven't put any wood in it since, I guess, last night. I think I stoked it around 11 o'clock last night. It's 1:30 now. Ouch. And I'll just stack it up there. And like I said, the only reason I'm getting rid of this wood is because of its age. That's why you should get rid of me. So what is your input on, do you move up a vehicle? Do you move up a vehicle, or, you know, get rid of the Kubota and move up to another vehicle because you could have better creature comforts? Or am I stupid and putting my money into that, and I should put money into other things? I didn't have the money to pay for it. I took a little bit of money out of my stocks because his loan has to be paid off for me to get a lien release. I'll stack this wood up there. I'll get a pretty good pile of wood. I don't know whether I'm doing the right thing or not. I do a lot of good things wrong. Good intentions. I kind of don't think he's a scammer, but I don't know how to close the deal. If I can close the deal, I went to Bobcat, and it's still under warranty. I guess you know what I'm looking at now, don't you? It's still under warranty because it's got 64 hours. And they know the person and say he's he's always been up and up with them, which is a good thing. It does have a transferable warranty, which is a good thing. Yeah, that's oak. It's so dry, it's featherweight. It might actually not be any heat value in it. I guess I shouldn't theoretically be running all my goofy things that I got going on here through you guys, but sometimes, you know, you guys come up with a lot of good information, which, you know, it's helpful from time to time. At that point when you guys say, well, you should do this, you should do that, you should do that, I don't have to use the information you give me, but I do listen to it all, and keep it in mind when sometimes I keep it. Some things that people tell you on YouTube are just totally goofy. Okay, and I'm sure some of you guys are aware of that. But some things that people tell you are really good. But that's kind of what it is. Now tomorrow, if you guys watch me, I guess I'm in there. I want to try to go to Brad's house. If you watch me, I wanted to put a plug in. Brad's having kind of an open house. Brad at Firewood in the Furnace is having an open house kind of thing tomorrow, and Andrew from Easton Made is going to be there. I'd really like to go to it. He lives about 2 hours from me, that way, north of Baltimore. So I'm west of Baltimore, or west of Baltimore. So I got to go down and go around the Baltimore Beltway. I'm not looking forward to that. It's going to be a hard drive, and not a hard drive out of a computer. But I'd really like to get to that. If you've never watched Brad over there Firewood in the Furnace, I think you'd enjoy him. I think he does real good at making videos. He's got a lot of people that get him firewood, and you know, call him up and say, come get the firewood. And he's hustling firewood pretty good. He is retired also. He's retired, but he's a youngster. I think he's only about 45 or 46. He's not. Even if he was 55 or 56, to me that's a youngster nowadays. Yeah, this thing will eat a lot of wood. But I haven't had a heat bill since I turned it on. And that'll get it ready to go. Now I'll probably walk down and get a couple pieces of cherry, because in the daytime I'll put like 2 or 3 sticks of cherry in, and the aroma around the house will be very nice. Oh, I think one more over there would be good. I'd like to get these old crates out of here. Oh, if I can get one more in here. I'd like to get these old crates out of here, but it's just too wet to run the machinery. It's just, you know, there's just about everybody on YouTube I watch that does wood are fighting this moisture right now. I guess the ground needs it. Last year was actually pretty dry around these parts, except for every time you wanted to do something, then it was wet. All right, there I'm stocked up for the next firing tonight of the boiler. Take you over there. What are we at time wise? Well, jabber, good jabber, bad jabber, I got no idea. It's just I can't get outside and do anything right now. It's just, I guess you guys can see it's gloomy. It rained all day yesterday. In fact, we had a little bit of snow, but it's all gone. It's about, I think it's about 40 degrees out right. You can see the haze, high moisture in the air. It's just a gloomy, nasty day. And it's been that way for the last 5 days. And when you look at the map or look at the weather, it's going to be that way for a while longer. So sorry guys, there just ain't crap I can put on there. There's my stockpile for wood for tonight. Like I said, I'll probably walk down and just carry 2 pieces of cherry up. That's the wood boxes. If you've seen me make the wood boxes, those are the wood boxes that I prefer most. They hold a 1/2 cord of wood. They fit in between here and between there, and like I said, that's 1 step from here to the boiler. In fact, you don't even need to take a step. So that's about it. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me while the weather's so goofy. I'll keep you informed on that. Maybe a upgrade. It's not a Kubota. But I kind of, you know, creature comforts. You're getting old when you go down to the mailbox. When you go down to the mailbox and it's kind of rough. Oh, here's a thing. Another thing I was working on. I've been working on a lot of little stuff. Had to take the motor out of my air compressor, and I got to put it back in. I'll walk you up there. The problem is that motor weighs so much I can't pick it up very well. I could take it off where it was on an air compressor, and I could drop it in my trunk and then use Mr. Lift It to get it out of the trunk onto the seat of the Bobcat. Or not Bobcat, Kubota. And then it goes up here. I guess you guys have seen where it goes up here probably in the past. There goes Woody. There goes Woody. Woody's been coming in pretty regular to eating. We had to redo the fill the bird feeders. They've eaten so much. This is where it goes. And I just can't hustle that motor up there anymore. It had a bad capacitor on. I took it down to Jeffrey's. We tested the cap, and sure enough, it was a bad cap. $50 later, I got a new cap on it. So, that's what it is. Mess over here. Tables are working good. What else? Going to Brad's tomorrow. Go watch Brad firewood up at the furnace. Probably be a couple lives tomorrow. Be interesting. Like I said, Andrew from Easton Made's going to be there too. They're going to have 3 or 4 slow wood splitters from Easton Made there. No, I'm just kidding. The wood splitting people kind of kid around with everybody a lot, and that's what that was about. Anyhow, I think Easton Made makes a fantastic wood splitter. They're absolutely top of the line. You just won't get any better than Andrew's machines. I'm trying to tell Andrew about the table and how to implement it in to one of his lower end machines as opposed to a high end machine, because the high end machines, he's got that those pretty good down. But if you had a small, he's got a small machine that Chris up in the wood yard has. That's a really nice machine, no log lift on it, and you could put a table on it next to it, and it would probably, I don't know. Everybody does wood different. However you do it, as long as you stay warm in the winter, that's what counts. So I think I'll wrap this up, rambling on. A lot of rambling here. Maybe that's what I'll name it, Rambling On, or Rockefeller Center from frickin' Jeep's location. Anyway, we'll see you guys later. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Go watch Brad out at Firewood in the Furnace, and go watch, you know who else has been good right lately? Well, they're all doing a lot of good movies. You got Hardworking Man, he's doing a great job. His wife is doing a great job keeping him busy, or he's keeping her busy. I'm not sure what's going on there. I think it might need to be Hardly Working Man, because I think she's doing all the work. So I think I'll nickname him Hardly Working Man. If you're out there, you heard it here first here. Shifty up at Backwards 40. It's really Back 40 Firewood, but I call him Backwards 40 or something like that. I don't know. I got nicknames for everybody. I'm sure they got nicknames for me. Anyhow, I'm glad you come along. Check those other channels out. I think you'd like them too when these get a little bit boring, as I'm waiting for some sun to recharge my This Weather Sucks batteries. So we'll see you later. Bye-bye.